Not a U.S. problem. Trump assures help for Gaza but wants others to pitch in. U.S. President Donald Trump on Sunday called out other countries to contribute to Gaza region, which is battling a catastrophic humanitarian situation and ongoing hostilities due to Israel-Hamas war. The U.S. President, who is on a visit to Scotland, was sitting next to European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, when he was asked for his response to the images of starving children in Gaza. Trump said that Washington has done a lot for Gaza and would send more aid, but he suggested other countries also to contribute, saying that it's an international problem. It's not a US problem, it's an international problem. If we weren't there, I think people would have starved, frankly, he told the reporters, as quoted by The Hill. Trump further claimed that the US gave $60 million in aid for Gaza 2 weeks ago, but nobody even acknowledged it. Nobody acknowledged it, nobody talks about it, and it makes you feel a little bad when you do that, and no other countries give anything, he said. The US president further accused the Hamas militant group of stealing food that was meant for people in Gaza. When I see the children and when I see, especially over the last couple of weeks, people are stealing the food, they're stealing the money, they're stealing the money for the food. They're stealing weapons, they're stealing everything, he added. Meanwhile, Trump emphasized that Israel would have to make a decision on next steps in Gaza, adding that he did not know what would happen after moves by Israel to pull out of ceasefire and hostage release negotiations with the militant group. Trump underscored the importance of securing the release of hostages held by Hamas in Gaza, saying they had suddenly hardened up on the issue. They don't want to give them back, and so Israel is going to have to make a decision, he said, as quoted by news agency Reuters. The Trump administration last week said it was leaving Gaza ceasefire talks, blaming Hamas for failing to engage in good faith. Steve Witkoff, Trump's special envoy for peace missions, said the administration is considering alternative plans to secure the freedom of Israeli hostages held by Hamas and the future governance of the territory. Previous talks over a ceasefire and hostage release scheme in Qatar came to a halt this week after the US and Israel withdrew their negotiating teams. Israel is facing mounting pressure from many of its allies, with aid agencies warning of mass starvation, having previously criticized plans to drop supplies into Gaza by air. Earlier this year in February, during Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to the US, Trump had suggested that the US could take over and own Gaza, resettling its population in the process. He had also said that all Palestinians currently living in Gaza, around 2 million people, should leave and be placed in other countries in the Middle East. The US will take over the Gaza Strip and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, Trump had said. Create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area, do a real job, do something different, he had added. The proposal had drawn condemnation, including from across the Middle East, close US allies and the United Nations. Netanyahu, however, welcomed the revolutionary vision for Gaza. At least 127 people in Gaza have died from malnutrition since the war began, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. Israel cut off all supplies to Gaza at the start of March in an 11-week blockade. It resumed distributing aid on May 27 with the new and controversial US-Israeli-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation (GHF). More than 1,000 Palestinians have been killed trying to retrieve food aid from GHF sites since it began, according to the UN. Israel claimed that the new distribution system stopped aid from reaching Hamas. The Israeli military launched a campaign in Gaza in response to the Hamas-led attack on southern Israel on October 7, 2023, in which about 1,200 people were killed and 251 others were taken hostage. Swipe left for next video. At least 59,676 people have been killed in Gaza since then, according to the territory's Hamas-run health ministry. With inputs from agencies' latest blogs.